175 days ago, Jenson Brickley became the latest TCR Europe champion. The winter has been long, but we are back racing once again. Welcome, everybody. Paul Jeffrey here in the commentary box. We're at the beautiful Mugello Circuit for the first round of our 2026 season. And it is absolutely a year of new activity for TCR Europe. New tracks, new drivers, new teams, new challenges, and new excitement for our 24-strong cohort of drivers that will be taking part in our two-race event over the course of the next 2 days. Qualifying has already happened. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a few minutes' time. As you can see there, air temperature 7.6 degrees centigrade as it's getting on into the evening now at 10 to 6 local time CET. And as the sun sets, the circuit looks incredible. I'm sure you will all agree. And I think we're set fair for a fantastic day of motor racing here at the Mugello Circuit for the opening round of TCR Europe. Here we can see a few details about the track. 15 corners, 5.245 kilometers in length. And the track record for TCR fell over the course of this morning in qualification. A 1 minute 54.481 falls the way of BRC Racing's Gabriele Corvini. Set that time in Q1 though, so the Italian driver is not starting from pole position. Because in Q2, it was teammate Alex Lee that was the fastest of all. He'll start race one from the very head of the grid. As I mentioned, we'll talk more about that in a few moments' time. You can see just behind that graphic that our field of cars are lining up to take their place on the grid. And as I say, a great grid. We have got fantastic work once again by TCR Europe to bring such a spectacular field of cars together. And here is our calendar for the year ahead. We're here at Mugello the weekend of the 20th, 22nd of March. Then we go to Spa-Francorchamps, Paul Ricard, the Hungaroring, Monza, and round out our campaign at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalonia on the weekend of the 23rd to the 25th of October. A great circuit, wonderful to see the Hungaroring in there as well, of course, returning to Paul Ricard and the Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps. Quite frankly, I think you'll all agree with me, has to be on every single calendar for any motor racing championship in the world. It is so good. But Mugello, first time here for TCR Europe. Several of our drivers are actually well experienced in TCR Italy, so they've got a little bit of a head start over some of our TCR Europe crew. Will that transpire into strong results come the race? Certainly did in qualification. Alex Lee, Gabriele Corvini, 1 and 2, both TCR Italy regulars until the end of last season, using the local knowledge to good advantage to put the Hyundai Elantra N TCRs at the very head of the pack, and great it is to have BRC back once again. Here we can see a few. Okay, so now I'm going to hand down, I've heard, Helena Pichuk is down on the grid.
Welcome to Mugello. We are here now for the first round of TCR Europe 2026 Championship. Now joining me, Ruben Fernandez.
Hello, Elena, how are you?
All good, and you? So, Ruben, what are your expectations for the season 2026?
Well, we have an amazing grid, 24 cars. We lost last week Claret brothers. We are going to miss them, but we are happy. I want to say thanks to all the drivers and also all the teams that they are here because they do an amazing job. So you will see the level of the drivers is amazing. So we'll see. I expect an amazing races. For this year, for sure, we have to improve a little bit more than the last year, and we invest more in media, TV, and TV coverage. So we will see, I think, an amazing season.
And building on that, the new format is coming, the TCR Europe Cup. Tell us more about this format and how important it is for the championship.
Yeah, we start this year something new, 2 races, one in Spa and the other one in Barcelona. The format is completely new because 2 drivers will share the car, but they share the car, but not the race. So every driver have his own free practice, qualify and race. But it's a way to split the budget and to join tracks, amazing tracks like Spa or Barcelona. So I invite every driver of TCR, TCR drivers and teams to come and join this first step to join the TCR Europe.
Perfect. That is definitely one to watch. Thank you, Ruben. And now let's take a quick word from our poleman. Hello, Alex. You took a pole position. What is the strategy for you to bring the car from the lights to the checkered flag?
It sounds simple, but literally just go, head forward and concentrate on getting a good start. I'd like to think we've got some good pace, so hopefully we'll be able to keep it, and that's the goal.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, and good luck for the race. Okay, you've heard him. Enjoy the race, and I give the word to Paul Jeffrey.
Thank you very much, Helena, down there on the grid ahead of this first race. Wonderful to have Helena with us, and a wonderful job she did there as well. So we spoke to our pole sitter, Alex Lee, and Alex, of course, on debut is the first time that he's come into TCR Europe and taken that pole position. So let's see what he can do come the race. So, what have we got ahead of us, folks? Let's have a quick look. 25 minutes plus 1 lap. Let's have a look at our grid. It is, of course, Alex Lee on pole position. Gabriele Corvini is alongside him. A BRC Racing Hyundai Elantra N front row of the grid. As we head down onto row 2, we can see there Squadron Martino, a brand new team. Tiago Pania is the driver in that car, third on the grid, just ahead of the returning Mike Halder, now at ALM Motorsports. Good stuff for fourth position for Mike Halder. In fifth place, it is So Light Indigo Racing. Johnson Park aboard that car. He's just ahead of Nico Baldan. Now, Nico, for the observant of you, you'll notice is in new overalls. Of course, PMA Motorsports for the Italian driver now, and he's got a teammate that he knows very well from TCR Italy. We'll come to that one in a moment, but Nico Baldan, good qualification for the experienced Italian on home soil. He'll be starting on the third row of the grid. Row number 4 goes the way of Marco Butti, now in Monlau Motorsport colours. So the reigning Drivers' Champion team now have Marco Butti, who almost won the Drivers' Championship. Alongside Marco is Janui Park. Victor Anderson, also at Monlau Motorsports, moves over from MAGP in 10th. Nicholas Taylor alongside, 9th, sorry, Nicholas Taylor in 10th. A good row 5 of the grid. Then row 6 is Max Hart, another one of the drivers that have moved over in ALM Motorsports colours alongside Ruben Volt. And then in 13th position, Mikhail Simonov for SP Competition. Alongside him, Victor Weirick for Herrero Racing, a new team in TCR Europe, 2 drivers making their debut. Felipe Fernandez will line up in 15th. Alongside him, Santiago Concepcion. Santiago for Acoa Racing. Adam Shepherd, reigning TCR UK champion. He lines up in 17th. Giacomo Prandelli, Acoa Racing, in 18th place alongside. 19th place goes the way of Raphael Fournier. Victor Chan alongside him in 20th. Victor Chan, another driver making his debut in TCR Europe. And then in 21st position, Tom Schaap and Victor Fernandez in 22nd. Tom Schaap, of course, makes his debut in car racing, having come from powerboats, of all things, although a former 3-time world karting champion. Sandro Pilati making a one-off race for PMA Motorsports, but in the Cupra will line up in 23rd. And 24th and last, Julian Brichet will line up for his own JSB competition team, having failed to make it through qualification. Okay then, folks, you may have heard the klaxon. And if you have, you know what that means. It means we're about to go motor racing. 25 minutes plus 1 lap are on the books. This is round 1, race number 1 of TCR Europe in 2026. And if you're as excited as I am, I dare say you're going to look forward to this next 30 minutes a great deal indeed. A few more seconds then. We get to have a look at the beautiful TCR grid. Lights are ablaze from the cars, of course. as we've now reached 6 p.m. local time. It's starting, the sun is starting to set. The atmosphere is most electric here on the circuit. And here we go. We've waited a very, very long time indeed for this moment. 175 days to be precise for when we said goodbye to TCR Europe in 2025, when we crowned Jensen Brickley of Monlau Motorsports as our champion. Well, it's going to be a new champion this year, isn't it? The question is, who will it be? Alex Lee then, his first time here in TCR Europe, leads the field around this beautiful Mugello Circuit. As I say, 3.259 miles or 5.245 kilometers in length, 15 corners, about 135 feet of elevation from the highest to the lowest point. Main straight, over 1.1 kilometers in length. It's a track that is very, very much a driver's circuit. I'm also delighted to say for this weekend we have some onboard cameras. Here you can see we're riding on board local driver Corvini. In fact, I tell a lie, that's not a Corvini. That is Mike Halder that we're riding on board with Mike. It's going to be an interesting one. Bit of a late addition, isn't he? Is Mike Halder to the team. We know him well from TCR Europe, and this is Lionel Pania. Sorry, this is Tiago Pania. Rear facing camera. There we go. First time I've made the Lionel Pania mistake already. We haven't even got in the first green flag lap. Lionel, of course, being Tiago's father. Very, very successful TCR South America driver. And this is another one of our cameras on board, another home driver, Marco Butti. Monlau Motorsports for this season. Marco, oh so close to taking the TCR Europe Drivers title last year. Missed out by the finest of margins for MM Motorsports. New team, new manufacturer, new colour scheme for Marco Butti, but still the same competitive fire for the Italian driver. We'll expect him to be working his way through the pack. Marco, not an ideal qualification down there in 7th position. He'll have been hoping for a little bit more, I think it's fair to say, coming into the weekend. But I dare say perhaps race pace will be a little bit higher for the Italian driver than the qualification effort was. Speaking of qualification efforts, we'll talk about Victor Anderson, can we? Indulge me for a moment, if you may, dear viewers. Victor Anderson moved over from a MA Matthias Anderson Grand Prix team, home run team with the Lincoln Co. He's now moved over to Monlau. It's been engineered by the Monlau engineers. Matthias is here, of course, and so is his grandfather. Keeping it watching brief, but it is a very, very different experience for the young Swedish driver. The big question is, will that be enough to unlock some of the good fortune and unlock some of the performance that we absolutely know Victor Anderson is capable of delivering? It's going to be fascinating for me to see how he gets on in a different environment, in a slightly more modern machinery as well, of course. Reigning champions, Monlau Motorsports, so very much the team in form. Plenty of stories, plenty of dramas. Make sure you stay tuned to TCR Europe on social media as we pick up those stories. And of course, the new season of TCR Europe Unboxed. It's gone through a few format changes. I hope you look forward to that one coming out sometime in the week after the conclusion of this race. Right then, enough time to get the waffle done, isn't it, during the formation lap? And now let's get down to the important business of going motor racing. See who we're going to pay the points out to at the conclusion of this one. Marco Butti, we ride on board with, as we're just getting ready to line up into our 7th place grid stop. And Butti, first time he'll have started this car in TCR Europe. Will it be any different to the Honda he knows so well from the previous season? I dare say there's plenty of practice being undertaken, and I dare say there is more than a few nerves out on that grid today. Several drivers on debut, some of them first time in a race car, full stop. And then many returning faces as well. It could be one of the most dramatic races of the year, this one, folks. Don't go anywhere. There we see the blue machine of Julien Brichet lining up in the final spot on the grid. In a few moments' time, we'll see a flag wave. There it is, the green flag at the back of the field. The lights are on. 3, 4, 5. Lights are on, lights are off, and TCR Europe 2026 is underway. At the head of the field, the two BRC Hyundais are looking to fight for the run down into T1. We appear over the top of the dip, and there is Alex Lee confirmed. Alex Lee has the early race lead, converts pole position into the run down into turn 1. A bit further back, Nicholas Taylor, very brave indeed. There he goes to the inside of Park. Park just about holds on, I think, in that third position, but Taylor's not quite given up yet, as we have some beautiful drone shots at the back of your field. Almost the entire cohort of TCR Europe as one. As we run through, there is Nick Taylor and Nico Baldan exchanging early paint, and around we go. That is Marco Butti. Yes, it is Marco Butti, the Italian driver on home soil. Around we go into the wall. Is the car carrying damage? These are incredible shots, I must say, from the drone. Thankfully, it looks like Marco is roughly pointing all wheels in the same direction, so he's back on the racetrack. Meanwhile, up front, there you can see Park having a look to the outside. Ooh, as we exit stage left, Felipe Fernandez. Felipe in some kind of strife in the RC2 squad. Has he kept the car running? We'll find out. We can see stranded. He's well off the racing line, so that's good news. But Felipe Fernandez does get it moving as Johnson Park looks to the inside and takes the position away from Gabriele Corvini. Great stuff from the Solite Indigo racing driver Rafael Fournier, side by side as well with Sandro Pilati. A little bit further back, there is Fournier in the yellow car, Pilati as well. And there is Victor Weyrich. It's a beautiful day here in Italy, but not quite good enough to go to the beach. Victor Weyrich thinks otherwise, and that is a very sad-looking and very stranded Herrero Racing Cupra Leon VZ. So Victor Weyrich on his debut in TCR Europe. It didn't last very long at all, unfortunately for the Frenchman, and he is very firmly into an early retirement. The first one of our season, and the first one of our season for safety car interventions. As there you see the line, and for Alex Lee, that will be incredibly frustrating indeed. He'd managed to build himself a nice little gap between the squabbling Johnson Park and Gabriele Corvini. That gap has now been eradicated to absolutely nothing as our Cupra safety car leads the field around, and we take a few moments to try desperately to unpick just what went on over the course of those opening few laps. Obvious people that we're missing: Tiago Pania, Felipe Fernandez, Victor Weyrich, all in strife. Marco Butti, looking at my timing screen, is still on the trike, and Janui Park may have a small issue with the front left of his car, some might say. So Janui Park on Solite Indigo Racing has been in some kind of strife over the opening few laps. We saw several people trading paint, shall we say, not least of which is the PMA Motorsports duo, Nico Baldan and Nicholas Taylor. Both of those cars survived, but Janui Park, perhaps not quite in as good a condition. That's a very heavily damaged front left of that Hyundai Elantra and TCR, and Solite mechanics, of course, going to work, but I dare say that's the last that we will see of Janui Park over the course of today. Victor Weyrich as well, very much in retirement, out of the car now. Helmet off. Thank you very much to the marshals, by the way, here at Mugello. Of course, we couldn't go racing if it wasn't for the marshals. So a big, big thank you for everything you do in extremely difficult conditions. As there we go, right on cue. One of the team here at Mugello picking up the debris left by Janui Park and 24 other enthusiastic TCR cars, all trying to occupy the same bit of tarmac at exactly the same time. So while the marshals are working away on the entrance to pit lane to get that one cleared up, we have another look at our field, and according to my timing screens, Tiago Pania does look like he is still circulating, potentially Janui Park. Of course, in pit lane, Victor Weyrich is now being recovered to the side of the road, and that is a very second-hand looking Solite Indigo Racing Hyundai Elantra. The team discussing what comes next, talking to their driver, just checking everything's safe, of course. Safety is always the first priority in these things. Make sure the car's safe, everything points broadly in the right direction, and you're not putting your driver in harm's way. And then, if all is good, inevitable bit of sticky tape can get stuck on it, and away we go again to go motor racing. But for Janui Park, unfortunately, this has turned into very much an extended test session now for the South Korean team. It's great to have Solar Indigo Racing back, of course, in 2026. We ended Barcelona 2025 with a victory for that squad. Their first in TCR Europe. Of course, they've got extensive experience in TCR Italy. They know the track, they know the country well. This is seeming to be a Hyundai circuit as well here at Mugello, and so far so good. To be mixing it absolutely toe-to-toe with the BRC Racing squad is no mean feat for any team at all. So big shout out there to Solar Indigo Racing. And there we go, that is Ginue not going back out on track, just lining the car up to be rolled back into pit lane, and hopefully the team can get that one sorted without too much trouble. And we'll see them again tomorrow morning when we go racing at 10:57 CET or 9:57 UTC, again on TCR TV, on YouTube and many other channels around the globe. As you can see at the top of your screen, the clock continues to tick. 19 minutes and 18 seconds plus 1 lap left on this one. We can extend slightly to cover for the safety car intervention, but of course we hope we can get back under racing conditions as soon as possible, as we're about to take a replay of the race start. So let's have a look and try and unpick exactly what happened here. It's a bit unfortunate how the track falls away. There's what happened to Thiago Pernia. The car did not get away from the lines with a young Argentinian driver. Very, very, very impressive third position in qualification. Unfortunately, that went wrong right from the very off. This is how Marco Butti exits stage right. A light contact to the front corner of his Cupra. Not quite enough to put a dent on his overall race. He's still in competition, although at the very back of the field and with some more than second-hand tyres. But Marco still in the race as we look on board. Great shots there. The pinball effect, so compact, is the middle of this field in TCR Europe. There we go. There's the mistake. Nothing you can do about that one. A little bit of a light contact with the side door. And Marco Butti, around we go. Felipe Fernandez had similar problems as well. The Spanish driver exiting rearwards rather than going forwards. We don't quite know what happened there. And Victor Weyrich, we saw the result, but we didn't see what brought it to our attention. Weyrich into an early retirement, unfortunately for the French Herrero Racing driver. Right then, good news. Race director says the safety car is in this lap, so we can settle down again and go motor racing. Alex Lee is your race leader from Johnson Park. Gabriele Corvini and Nico Baldan are the top 4. Nicholas Taylor is in 5th position, just ahead of Mihail Simonov. And then in 7th goes Mike Halder from Max Hart, Ruben Volt and Adam Shepherd, rounding out our top 10. Great start from Adam Shepherd, all the way down in 17th position to break into that top 10. Be interesting to see what the TCR UK champion can do over the course of the rest of this race, although potentially the Englishman carrying a bit of a mechanical issue on that car that's producing slightly less horsepower than his factory standard. So Adam in for a hard day, but he's done a lot of great work over the course of these opening few moments of the first race of the 2026 season. A hushed silence then descends upon the circuit as anticipation begins to build. Safety car intervention is now coming to a close. Alex Lee will wind the pace up as he runs to the start-finish line. And here we go then. We are back under racing conditions. Once again, Alex Lee gets a great restart from Johnson Park. Already buys himself a healthy 0.8 of a second advantage. Just behind, lights are ablaze from Nico Baldan, trying to fill the mirrors of teammate ahead. Not able, though, the 2 PMA Motorsport cars flying in formation. Down there in 4th and 5th position, a little bit further back, side by side, goes Shepherd. Trying to find a way past Ruben Volt. Rafael Fournier in the yellow machine. Having a look at Sandro Palatti as well for good measure. Relatively well behaved from the field over the first few corners. We saw Thiago Pernia there as well, of course, back on the racetrack, and now having caught up with the grid, we'll see what he can do for moving forward. There is Shepherd, looks one way. Ruben has the inside line covered very nicely indeed. Santiago Concepcion trying to buy into the fight as well. The silver Audi behind Concepcion, of course, having moved to Icoa for 2026. He's finding life in Audi colours very well indeed, is the young Spanish driver. So far, good stuff in 11th place from Santiago. But look at Alex Lee at the head of the pack. Look at this for a restart lap on coldish tyres. The English driver absolutely on the limit. That 0.8 of a second gap will be stretching out ever so slightly. There's a little mistake at the back of the field. Almost turned into something more major. But that two-way fight becomes a three-way, it becomes a four-way squabble. And right in the middle, there's Mike Halder, there's Max Hart, two ALM Motorsport teammates at the back of the duo ahead, trying to find a way past Simonov, Nick Taylor. There's Taylor in the Audi, Simonov in the Cupra at the head of this pack. Great performance from him on his debut in TCR Europe, as well as Halder. Almost squeezes a way through with the two ALM Motorsport drivers, Ruben Volt, the Encumbrian driver, the Estonian in the Estonian team. He was described to me earlier on as the team mascot almost of ALM Motorsports, and then Mike Halder. Lots of experience for the 29-year-old German driver. Great to have him back in. It's going to be very interesting. Throw Max Hart into the mix and you've got three potential champions in the same team. That's going to be a fight that we watch on and on. But here we go, Simonov hard on the defensive for the run down into T1. Taylor's going to try and nip the car back to the apex if he can. No room though. Good defending there from Simonov. That's going to open the door potentially for the trio of ALM Motorsports Hondas behind, and so it does almost immediately. Max Hart trying to get into the picture as well. Halder and Volt keeping a watching brief. There is Simonov in the grey car with the red highlights. Behind Max Hart, Nick Taylor in the Audi to the inside line, and around the outside goes Mike Halder. Great stuff. Ruben Volt keeping a watching brief, trying to buy into this one. And there is Adam Shepherd. Doesn't look like the technical issue they suffered in qualifying is quite so prevalent in race conditions. Shepherd very much keeping onto the back of that train. In fact, I'm saying keeping onto the back of that train. Was that potentially an overtake? No, it was Santiago Concepcion in 11th place, just having a little think and a little look as he tries to find a bit of tarmac. It's so frantic on the track, it's almost like the drivers need to take a bit of a breather just to try and ascertain where they are, as Mike Halder, no intentions of taking a breather whatsoever, climbs over the back of Max Hart like a cheap suit. The German driver, car number 7. Irish driver, car number 69 of Max Hart just ahead. Will Halder find a way past? Yes, he does. Hart, I think, didn't make that one as hard as he needed to. Teammates, of course, both racing for the same squad. No benefit whatsoever from these two to hold each other up. And Hart, sensible tactic there from Max, just concedes that position. Mike Halder now moves up into 6th place. Nick Taylor dropping a little bit further back behind the Canadian in the Audi. I say dropping back, and almost immediately on cue, the nose appears on the rear panel of the car in front, so Nick Taylor still very much on form. But look how much of an opportunity that gave Mike Halder to streak away from Max Hart. So the German is going to be very enthusiastic to try and do what he can to close upon the back of the pack behind. Is at the head of the field, Park in 2nd place, still defending from Cavini. Cavini a little bit slower at the start of this race than perhaps he would have liked, but it does seem like the pace now is starting to come back to the BRC Racing, Hyundai Elantra and TCR. And Cavini now trying to get on level terms with Johnson Park. It's been a great start for Johnson, hasn't it? Up in a 2nd position and looks very confident as well. Does the Korean driver, still that Indigo Racing, 2nd season in TCR Europe, but of course know the track very well indeed from TCR Italy. And so far, the body language of that number 97 suggests that Young-Sung Park feels very confident in his own capabilities at this moment in time. He's not fainting to the inside, he's not defending fresh air. He's just driving his racing line and giving Gabriele Corvini the opportunity to find a way past through his own endeavours rather than a mistake from the car ahead. And Corvini, a little bit out of shape there, but nothing too concerning at this moment in time. The confidence that the Italian will have, knowing he's got a half a second, 0.6 of a second gap between himself and Nico Baldan behind, so he does have a little bit of headroom, does Corvini, to try and apply some kind of attacking prowess on Johnson Park ahead. But it's not easy at all to overtake in the same brand of car. Different teams, of course, they're still both Hyundai, Elantra and TCRs, and if they squabble, that will bring Baldan, Simonov, Halder, Hart, and basically the rest of the field very much into this fight as well. Difficult times then, strategic driving from the two of them. But what is not strategic, but is mightily impressive, is the 4.7 second gap Alex Lee has managed to build from this squabble. 5.1 seconds as we cross over the timing line, make it now. Alex Lee absolutely rapid. Last time around a 1:57.492. Good race pace, that's very much the fastest driver on the track at this moment in time, and a fast driver indeed is Ruben Volt. The inside line is an attractive place to find yourself, and Nick Taylor has absolutely no right of reply. Cannot find a way to get past Ruben Volt then. Continues in his charge, currently in 8th position is the Estonian driver, although a little bit detached now from teammate Max Hart. 1.5 seconds is the gap to himself and his fellow ALM Motorsports Honda driver. Nick Taylor, you're seeing on screen there. This is the squabble at this moment in time. Taylor, of course, reigning double TCR Italy champion, coming back for his 2nd season in TCR Europe. Full of confidence, he said, speaking to me this morning. The team have been hard at work over the winter. Nico Baldan, of course, now in there as well. So rivals in TCR Italy, but very much friends in TCR Europe, and they'll be working for the good of the team. And Baldan, we know's rapid, he's up there in 4th. He's got a wealth of experience that young Nick Taylor, of course, is realistically only in his 3rd, 4th season of touring car racing. So the experience of Baldan will be invaluable, coupled with the pace that both drivers bring as well. They're going to be leading the charge for Audi, I'm sure, over the course of this season, and so far so good in 4th and 9th places respectively. Although it does look like Nick is becoming a wee bit detached, doesn't it, from Ruben Volt ahead now as we ride on board with Myhalder. Beautiful, beautiful onboard shots here. We're riding with the German driver Myhalder, returning to TCR Europe, of course. He's been in TCR Europe on and off ever since it first became a thing. Mike Halder, one of our stalwart drivers in this series, and he, honestly, looking in his eyes, he's a man who's hungry for success. Wins in TCR Spain, Denmark as well. It's basically, if it's TCR car, Mike Halder's raced it and probably won it at some stage, and now he's very much back for the full campaign in TCR Europe and looking for the championship as Max Hart goes to the inside of Mikhail Simonov, and Max Hart takes that position away. 6th place now for the ALM Motorsports Honda driver. Slowly but surely moving his way through the pack as we pick up. There's a mistake from Baldan. This is Mike Halder's opportunity now. Baldan drops the car onto the curb. Halder has the inside line. The Italian driver does not fight that too hard. And Mike Halder now up into 4th position. The charge begins here for Mike Halder. He has got a gap to close down to Gabriele Corvini, and I guarantee Halder wants that podium for his first race back. 4th is incredible. 3rd place is even better as Prandelli moves up off shot into 14th place ahead of a fast starter, it has to be said, Julian Brichet up there in 15th. Julian didn't even get into qualification. Some kind of mechanical issue in the car, started 24th and last, and has been very impressive indeed to be up there in 15th place as we continue to watch the fight between Nico Baldan and Max Hart. Baldan now really in the thick of it, losing a little bit of pace, it seems, towards the middle end stint of the race. He's used to the car. It's a new team, of course. He raced for Icoa last season, now at PMA Motorsports. It's a new team in TCR Europe, and yeah, Nico Baldan perhaps not quite as fast at this stage as he would have been hoping for, but still very much holding on there and looking relatively confident and comfortable. Well, as confident, as comfortable as anybody could be with Max Hart trying to find a way past, but it's definitely defensive posture time for Nico Baldan as opposed to the attacking charge. Let's have a look then. What can the straight line speed of Max Hart's Honda do versus the 4-ring Audi? And Nico Baldan ahead. Hart, I don't think, quite has the legs. Didn't get the run to the final corner needed for the charge down into T1. Corvini has a little look to the inside of Park. Park very wise to that one, though, as he's a switcheroo a little bit further back. Adam Shepherd, Victor Anderson, both new into Mugello Motorsports, both very, very keen to make their mark within the team. And it is Anderson on the attack, Shepherd on the defence. I thought Victor had that one done and dusted, but it looks like Adam Shepherd is just about got the elbows out. And here's a Mugello. 3 cars, same piece of tarmac. I would not want to be the team manager at all as we ride on board here with Marco Butti. There is Shepherd in the 117. There is Victor Anderson, and Butti, what a move. He gets the switchback, has the inside line. Is it 3 wide? Is it 2 wide? Is it Marco Butti advantage? I've no idea what. There we go. It is Marco Butti advantage. Everybody else shuffles themselves out, and Victor Anderson has gone from the attacker to the man in 3rd of that particular trio, and wondering how how on earth that happened. Some absolutely incredible racecraft from Marco Butti, and from a driver that was facing the wrong way in the barriers on lap 1. He's now 11th. Write that down, ladies and gentlemen. Marco Butti is up to 11th. These are the kind of recovery drives championships do make. And yes, we're getting a little bit excited about 11th position, but this is a good recovery from the Italian driver. And what's getting a little bit exciting is the fight for second position, also featuring an Italian driver, and none other than Gabriele Corvini, the 20-year-old Italian. Looking, the body language on that BRC Hyundai Elantra, and now says to me, Gabriele Corvini is lifted up a little bit and looking to think about making that move for second position. Will he be able to do it though? Will opportunity present itself? As there is Julien Brichet. We're talking about the mechanical dramas in qualifying. I'm sad to say it does look like that has reappeared once again for JSB competition, and Julien Brichet almost pulling off a great start up there in the top 15, but now sadly looking like he's at best coming to a bit of an interference to his progress. What we're looking at here, there is Jensen Park, Gabriele Corvini, Mike Halder's not closing the gap down. His Mike as fast as I anticipated last time around, 158.4, about a tenth and a half quicker than the two cars ahead, but Halder's going to need to dig down into the back pocket a little bit more for some more speed if he wants to really be in that conversation to race with Junsong and Gabriele for second and third positions respectively. Behind Nico Balda and Max Hart, they still remain as you were in their dispute for fifth and sixth positions respectively. Simonov, impressive up there in seventh on his debut. Fantastic performance for him, just ahead of Ruben Volt and Nick Taylor. We briefly saw on board there again, another great shot here on board at Mugello. Fantastic to see these TCR touring cars on this, quite frankly, absolutely incredible racetrack. Great place to go motor racing, beat GTs, beat touring cars, Formula cars, hey, even bikes. It's an absolutely incredible venue. Some could say it's arguably best on the bikes, but it's fantastic for touring cars, and we're having a great race so far. Not quite as great Alex Lee, though, dominating at the head of the pack. We have a look at Felipe Fernandez, another one of our drivers in strife on lap 1. Felipe back up and running again, and now harrying the back of Thiago Pinilla. Remember, Thiago didn't get away from the line. The safety car intervention optimal for the Argentinian driver to stay in contention, but now lights ablaze Felipe Fernandez in the RC2 Honda, same car, different team. Fernandez, very experienced in TCR and TCR Europe, looking more than a little bit enthusiastic, just like Gabriele Corvini looks more than a little bit enthusiastic. Can't find a way past on the rundown to San Donato once again. What this does mean, though, is Park and Corvini are bringing Mike Halder, Nico Baldan, Max Hart and Simonov into the conversation. So very, very quickly, Gabriele in the number 12 Hyundai is going to have to start thinking about what's happening behind rather than what's happening ahead. And that's when things start getting exponentially more difficult for the Italian driver. So let's hope for Gabriele he's going to be able to hold on to this one. I'm just hearing a quick note, actually, that what is this one? Let me just have a quick look. Ruben Volt has pitted. We don't quite know why, but from position 8, Ruben Volt is in pit lane. So that's a shame for the Estonian driver. Big expectations coming into 2026 for Ruben Volt. And once again, the start to a racing season just hasn't quite panned out, and the very likeable young man would have wished it to be. So Ruben Volt then drops himself all the way down into 21st position and last on the racetrack. And that's a real shame for the Estonian driver. He'll be back, don't you worry. Ruben Volt absolutely rapid on board that Honda. He just doesn't seem to have quite the good fortune that perhaps a driver needs to turn pace into results. Right then, 1 minute 12 seconds left on the clock. It looks a lot brighter on the TV than it does out of my commentary box window, I can tell you that one for sure. The sun has well and truly gone from the sky now, and it is Alex Lee currently leading this one by a monumental 3.8 seconds. It's gone down from what it was, but in TCR terms, That's an entirely different race altogether. Alex Lee, fabulous, fabulous fight. No, it's gone to 5.2. My live timing now decides to tell me. Alex Lee dominated this one at the moment in time. There we go, to the inside. That's Baldan. Can he get it done? Yes, he does, but loses the car on corner exit. Nico Baldan, arms all over the place, trying to keep that Audi pointing broadly in a straight line. Does the job, but opens the door for Myhalda to sneak past. Max Hart as well, I think, bought into that one. Let's have a quick look. Yes, he did. Max Hart up in a 5th position. Baldan down to 6th. Yellow flag, a double wave yellow flag actually in T15 according to my timing screen. That suggests somebody has had themselves some kind of adventure. We'll pick that one up where we can. But Max Hart up in a 5th. Hunter Killer move that one from the newly ALM Motorsport livery driver. And Nico Baldan now has Simonov for company. But crucially for the Italian teammate Nick Taylor. And there is the reason for our double wave yellows in T15. That is an RC2 in the gravel. And that's not the great way to end that one. Victor Fernandez, our reigning Diamond Trophy champion. And sadly for car number 73, Victor Fernandez. Another one that decides to visit the beach here in Tuscany, even though it is a little bit more into the evening. So Fernandez out of contention. Alex Lee about to wave goodbye to that big lead, but I think we'll be able to, we'll be able to get that one right. It's a permanent double wave yellow in T15, so we're not going to bring the race to a halt, thankfully. As Lee at the head of the pack is miles away. All the focus is on Jonsson Park, Gabriele Corvini, Mike Halder, Max Hart. Can they make anything happen in the dying moments of the opening race of the 2026 TCR Europe campaign? Here we go then. One more lap to go for Alex Lee. When was the last time a driver came and got pole position and race victory on his debut in TCR Europe? All the way back in 2018. Jaap van Lagen, it was on that occasion. Alex Lee would dearly like to add his name to that list, as there is Max Hart to the inside of Myhalda. That is a very, very late look to the inside for Max. Gets it done nice and cleanly indeed. Mike did not protest that one bit. In fact, perhaps, maybe even allowed that one to happen. We'll talk to Mike after the race about that one, but we did catch it late, and Max Hart is now up in a 4th. Flashing the lights to Gabriele Corvini. Hey, I'm coming through, get out of my way, says Max Hart. Corvini will not be susceptible to that pressure. I can absolutely guarantee it. Holding on to that bottom step of the podium. This will be a fantastic result for Gabriele Corvini if he can continue it to the end. As there we go. So very, very squirrely indeed for the Solite Hyundai. But Park keeps it all together. There is Corvini. Max Hart in that 4th position. Mike Halder, a little bit disappointed, I think. Michael B down there in 5th, although it's a very late deal put together for Mike, so he's still catching up, shall we say, on his experience in the car compared to those around him. He's done a sterling job in 5th. Nico Baldan up there in 6th position as well. Good stuff from him. Simonov in 7th. Incredible performance from him. And Nick Taylor up there in 8th. Oh, here we go. Final lap, final opportunity. Here is a move. Corvini in 3rd position. Max Hart in 4th. Max tries to get the car alongside Corvini, not willing to give away the space. There is the yellow flag for the stranded Fernandez machine. So no overtaking, of course, under permanent double wave yellows. There is Victor Fernandez's car firmly out of the way now. So no, not in the line of danger. But here we go then. At the head of the pack, he came, he saw, and he conquered. Alex Lee on debut, pole position, a race victory in the opening race of TCR Europe 2026. Following him over the line then, Jonsson Park in 2nd. Gabriele Corvini holds on from the enthused Max Hart for the bottom step of the podium. Hart there in 4th place, Mike Halder in 5th. Nico Baldan, very good drive for the Italian, up there in 6th. Mihail Simonov in 7th, just ahead of Nick Taylor. Santiago Concepcion, and unbelievably, the recovering Marco Butti from barrier to 10th position at the checkered flag. A great recovery from the Italian. Adam Shepherd, Victor Anderson, Giacomo Prandelli, Thomas Schaap, Sandro Pilate, Thiago Pernia, Felipe Fernandez, Rafael Fournier, and Victor Chan round out the cars. Classified at the checkered flag, Ruben Volt, Julian Brichet, Victor Fernandez, Jindui Park, and Victor Weirick are the drivers that don't make the checkered flag for the first time of asking here in TCR Europe. And breathe. That was fun, was it not? It's been a while. Did we miss it? I've certainly missed it, and that's a good way. And look at this one. This is, oh, that's beautiful. That's Gabriele Corvini. Absolutely. He's such a lovely man. He's such a really, really, genuinely good guy, is Gabriele Corvini. You don't meet many good guys in this world, and he's one of them. And yeah, quite emotional for me to see that, actually. It's lovely. Look how much it means to him. What a lovely scene. Well and truly deserves that podium. Fabulous stuff for Gabriele. Absolutely fantastic. He loves his motor racing. He's at home. He's in his home team. He's at Mugello. And he's got his first ever podium in TCR Europe. His teammates took the victory, which is incredible for Alex Lee as well. But for Gabriele Corvini, you can see just how much it means to both drivers. To represent, I mean, I'm sure many of you watching at home are long-term touring car fans such as myself, and if you're not, absolutely welcome. It's great to have you with us. BRC are a big squad. To represent them on this stage is a big, big thing. Right then, let's have a quick look at the provisional race 1 results. Alex Lee is your race winner from Johnson Park. Gabriele Corvini, bottom step of the podium. Max Hart, Mike Halder in 4th and 5th positions, just ahead of Nico Baldan in 6th. Mikhail Simonov on debut in 7th, great stuff from him. Nicholas Taylor in 8th. Santiago Concepcion will be classified provisionally, of course, in 9th. And then Marco Butti in the 111 will be in 10th position. Hyundai, Honda, Audi. Nice. Cupra in 7th, then 2 more Aldis and a Cupra in 10th place. 11th place goes the way of Adam Shepherd. Remember Adam complaining after qualifying. Bit of a performance issue in the car in terms of pace. Victor Anderson 12th. Giacomo Prandelli in 13th, Tom Schaap in 14th. Great debut from him. First ever race in a car, having moved over from powerboat racing. Fantastic from the Frenchman. Sandro Platti 15th, Thiago Pernia in 16th, and then Felipe Fernandez and Rafael Fournier and Victor Chan are the last of our drivers who finished, with Ruben Volt, Julian Brichet, Victor Fernandez, Janui Park, and Victor Weirick be the drivers that don't make the checkered flag. Well, round 1, race 1. Quite the spectacle. I'm looking forward to seeing the reactions now of these guys. Alex came in to TCR Europe this season, of course, brand new into the championship. He's raced in TCR Italy, he's taken wins in TCR Italy, taken wins in TCR UK. I don't think anybody expected him to put it on pole and win his first race. Absolutely incredible from the English driver, it has to be said. Davide, team manager, coming in. There's his dad. Alex, very happy. Must be proud parents indeed. Lovely family as well, actually. And there is our 2nd place finishing car, which picking up from where they left off, aren't they? They won at Barcelona, and then Jonsson comes in, finishes 2nd in the first race of the new season. Could we be seeing the start of Solite Indigo Racing as a force to be reckoned with at the head of the pack in TCR Europe? I very much bet we are. And there is Gabriele Corvini. Yeah, don't stand on it, Gabby. It's probably not going to work out so well. Absolutely delighted, isn't he? I cannot wait for the day that man wins a race. Just imagine what the emotions will be like. And look at that one. It's almost a bit too much for him. There we go. For the photos, beautiful stuff. Great teamwork, they're friends as well. They've raced in TCR Italy together for a while. They've got a fantastic relationship, do Corvini and Lee. Both of them working well for the good of the team. Young Chargers, the team we've spoken to this weekend, of course, ready for the Unbox programme next week. They are delighted with their 2 young Chargers. I do believe in a few moments Elena will be down there to speak to our race winner, so I'll get ready to send it. In fact, I'll throw you down now for Elena, who's got our race winner, Alex Lee.
Alex, congratulations. From lights to flag. How did you manage that?
Yeah, it was harder than it looked. It went as planned, as I said to you on the grid, which, yeah, very happy about. Win on debut, so we got to keep this up now for the rest of the season. It's going to be hard, but let's see. Very happy, though. But massive thank you to the whole of BRC, Hyundai, Daniel James Performance Cars, and everyone that's there for me. So yeah, massive thank you to them because this is for them.
That was a perfect win. Congratulations. Let's go to the podium.
It was a perfect win. Every win is a perfect win, but for Alex, it was very much a perfect performance. Did not make a single mistake, did not put a foot wrong, and trust me, under this kind of pressure, in this kind of racing conditions, that is mightily impressive indeed. So our drivers will be making their way to the podium. Luckily, it's just above there, but while we're waiting for that one, let's have a look at some of the highlights of the race that we have just enjoyed. Green flag waved at the front of the field, and it was Thiago Parnia that did not get away from the line. The Argentinian driver was stranded. The field did well to avoid contact with the back of the Honda. Nick Taylor, though, at the head of the pack, was very enthusiastic indeed. The Canadian charging early doors as Marco Butti gets it all wrong. Italian driver on home soil says hello to the barriers on the opening lap. It would not be the last that we see of Marco Butti. Felipe Fernandez, Victor Weyrich also in strife, causing the safety car intervention that would not be enough to dethrone Alex Lee at the head of the pack. Fernandez did get back out on the racetrack. Thankfully, Julian Brichet, from all of his dramas in qualifying, did well until he had to put the car into an early retirement. Monlau Motorsport teammates, Monlau Motorsport frenemies more like. There was a great move from Marco Butti. Two cars in one move as Sandro Palatti and Thiago Parnia have a bit of a ding-dong through in San Donato. The very final lap of the race was almost given up for Gabriele Corvini, but he held on for third position. Second held on for Johnson Park, and Alex Lee took the win. So there we go then. They are the highlights of a very frantic race indeed. You can see on your screen the sun has well and truly fallen from the sky now. Could Mugello look any more beautiful? Of course it can. Put it in sunset. Absolutely stunning circuit. And I'm sure, I hope, you will all agree with me that it's been a very entertaining start to the season. Honestly, we have no idea what the form book was going to be coming into this one. And I'm still not entirely convinced that this is going to be the form book for the season. It's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot to catch up with Alex Lee, the pace that he's got underneath him. But of course, as we move away from Mugello and go to the likes of Spa and Paul Ricard, we're coming away from the tracks that Alex and Gabriele and the BRC squad know so well from TCR Italy. Be interesting to see how that dynamic changes. There is Parc Ferme. A few fans getting photos. Don't touch it, for heaven's sake, as the cars remain under Parc Ferme. Sandro Palatti, the reason there's 4 cars there as well, of course. Sandro Palatti in the machine at the back of your shot takes the Diamond Trophy victory. It's great to have Sandro back in as well. Lovely guy. Diamond Trophy for 40 and over.
Mugello.
Here's the view from the podium.
Let's call to the podium the third classified, Gabriele
We are ready
Corvini.
to bring out our drivers to celebrate in time-honoured fashion with champagne and trophy. There's your third place man, Gabriele Corvini. He's always got a big smile, but I think it's a wee bit bigger than usual this time. You can see the emotion kind
And
of.
the winner
There's Johnson
of race
Park.
1, Alex Lee.
Very much a former man in TCR Europe, having won last time around in Barcelona.
Representing
And Alex
the winning
Lee,
team,
first time we see
Verici, the
the man
team
from Essex on the
manager
top step of the podium as
BRC
well
team.
for his first victory of the year. Yeah, Davide coming out there for BRC Racing as well. Great performance from them, back full-time in
Ladies and
2026 in TCR
gentlemen,
Europe.
the national anthem of Britain. And now the trophy presentation. Please welcome Gabriel
The national
Alonso,
anthem then for
TCR
our
Europe,
race-winning
to present
driver. And now it's
trophy
time to
to
hand
our
out some
third
trophies
classified
as a
driver.
reward for all the hard work that has gone on not just in this weekend, not just in this race, but it's the whole off-season. It's the work these drivers have to do to get the partnerships and the sponsorships together as well, to even be on the grid. And that's what it's all for. Gabriel Alonso of TCR
René,
Europe.
on behalf
Now the
of
third place
Kumo,
trophy
will present
to
the
Gabriele
trophy for the
Corvini. I
second
cannot wait to see
classified.
Gabriele after this one. I'm sure he'll be absolutely delighted about that one. And then the second place trophy.
And let's
Kumo
welcome
Tire.
Ruben
It is
Fernandes,
René
the promoter
Quintanaro
of TCR
handing
Europe.
that
Will
trophy
present
to
the
Johnson
trophy
Park.
for the winner.
Ever-growing collation for Johnson there, isn't it? Very, very impressive drive again. And then Ruben Fernandes, TCR Europe promoter, the man responsible for the resurgence of this incredible championship amongst the wonderful team he's put together, hands out that first place
The team
trophy
trophy
to
will
our
be
race winner,
presented by
Alex
Ruben
Lee.
Fernandes.
And of course, BRC Racing. We know them very well from the Kumo FIA TCR World Tour, of course. Well, slightly younger driving strength this time around. The same end result. There we go.
We kindly ask
First
the
place
drivers to
for
remain on the
BRC.
podium.
A very firm
Now
welcome
we continue
back
with
to
the Yas
full-time
and Diamond
competition now.
classified.
A quick reminder,
Please welcome
let's not
to
forget
the
we're going
podium
racing again
the
tomorrow
best
for the second and
Yas
final race of the
driver.
weekend. It's 10:57 CET local time, which works out at 9:57 in the morning
And the best
UTC.
Diamond driver,
Make sure you don't miss that
Sandro
one,
Pelati.
as here comes an extra bottle of champagne. And here comes Sandro Pelati, our Diamond Trophy winner on home soil. Again, a really, really friendly guy. Always got a big smile on his face. Does love his motor racing, Sandro, and periodically keeps reappearing in TCR Europe for a little
He
bit
will
of fun
present
amongst
the
his other
trophy
programmes.
from
Family photo
René
time.
to the
Drivers will all get
Yas
together,
winner.
have a little snap, and then we'll do what
Alex
we do
Lee.
best. We'll spray that champagne and celebrate in the right fashion. Here's René Quintanaro again with Sandro Pelati's trophy.
And
Oh, no, tell a lie.
Gabriele
Sorry, that's
Alonso
Alex Lee, of
from
course.
TCR
He
Europe
won
will
the
present the trophy
Youth Best
to the
Trophy.
Diamond winner,
Drivers
Sandro
22 and
Pelati.
under before free practice one for round number one. There is the opposite end of the spectrum, not the Diamond Youth Trophy.
The big round
Diamond
of applause
Best
to
Trophy for
all the
drivers,
drivers. Congratulations,
over
everyone,
the age
and good
of
luck
40.
for the next race.
And who haven't won a race, haven't finished in the top 5 in the standings, and haven't finished in the top 50 of the world ranking by the start of the year. Come on, boys. Get those photos done. Get that champagne sprayed, and let's celebrate. It's getting cold now here in Mugello. We're about to spray you with champagne to celebrate what has been an absolutely enthralling opening race. I don't think, particularly, I have any more knowledge of the form book, really, than before we came into this one. We know Alex Lee is incredibly fast, and BRCR. How much of that one is local knowledge? How much of that one is this being a predominantly Hyundai track? We don't know. We'll find out, I suppose, won't we? Make a date in your diary. 15th to the 17th of May. Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps. Seems like a good venue as any to sort that information out. As there we go. Trophies will be placed on the floor. You can tell it's race one of the season, can't you? Everyone's a little bit slow. Come on, chaps. Get it open. Get it celebrated. That's how you do it. Fantastic stuff. Johnson Park wins that particular race on this occasion, the first of them. And Alex Lee makes his first mistake of the weekend in that he can't open the bottle of champagne. And if that's the only error that young man makes, it will have been a very, very fine day indeed. There we go. Relish the moment, gentlemen. That's what it's all about. Right then, folks. I think we're about done and dusted for the day. So, from myself, Paul Jeffrey, from Helena Pinchuk, down on the grid, from the whole TCR Europe team, we're back. Thanks for watching. See you all again tomorrow morning for race number 2. Bye-bye.